Okay, so here we got Raw 1001. The first of the 3-hour Raws without a special reason behind it. This is the way they're going to be. These 3-hour Raws are going to be the death of me when it comes to enjoying professional wrestling. There was a lot of recapping of last week. And then recappings of things that just happened. I don't mind instant replay for a match, but not for a promo. Opening, CM Punk comes down, and he sits Indian style, or Native American style if you have a PC about it, right in front of Jerry Lawler. You know what that means? Stuff's about to get real. And Punk does what makes a lot of sense for Punk to do. He talked about, so why did I beat up The Rock last week? Well, you know what? Raw should be about the champion. The champion should end the show. A champion should end the pay-per-view. Yeah. Rock shows up, believes he deserves a title shot. Because he's The Rock. I guess beating John Cena at WrestleMania, then like almost a year later, you can challenge for the title. I mean, makes perfect sense. Okay. Show comes down and talks about, no, so you beat John Cena. I beat John Cena. You were just there in the ring. And then John comes down, scares off Big Show, entirely ignores the fact that CM Punk is in the ring. Which then has AJ come down, and for one of her first official duties, she makes a match between John Cena and Big Show. Winner becomes the #1 contender for SummerSlam. There's your main event match. It was a very slow match. Punk comes down, attacks them because he was doing commentary. Calls them both losers, leaves the ring. AJ goes, no. You will face them both in a triple threat match now. So I guess when CM Punk faces a guy one-on-one and beats said guy, the next match therefore has to be a triple threat involving a larger athlete. So it's one of your main events at SummerSlam. And it'll be good that CM Punk and Punk has feuded with both of them before. And, Show and Cena need something to do. But it seems really stagnant that there's your main event picture. It's those three guys. How come we never saw, Punk versus Jericho versus Daniel Bryan? I mean, there is your awesome triple threat match, but that never happened. Okay, so your first official match on Raw was Santino Marella versus Alberto Del Rio. Again, Del Rio getting the victory. We then come back to the Funkadactyls and the Funkasaurus being in the ring. And then Vickie Guerrero coming down and doing a dance party to show them how it's done. And then we get saved by Damien Sandow, who again cuts a very solid promo, and then wails on Brodus Clay. Okay. So far we're doing pretty good. I like that. That works. I was waiting for Zack Ryder to have the next match, but he didn't. Titus O'Neil took on Kofi Kingston. Titus O'Neil, one half of the Primetime Players, or Primetime 2.0. Ironically, Titus O'Neil is the poorer athlete out of the Primetime Players. His partner, Darren Young, or Black Cena, is a lot more gifted in the ring. But the good thing he got to take on Kofi Kingston, because Kofi can make him look good. And ironically, Titus gets the pinfall. 1, 2, 3. Alright. Good stuff, solid stuff that you need to see. Oh, and Daniel Bryan assaulted Little Jimmy after Daniel Bryan had a match with Sheamus. This is a really beautifully well done street fight. This showed a level of brutality you can get on TV in the PG era. Chairs, kendo sticks, steel steps. Very solid match. These two guys went all over the arena without really going into the crowd that much. was done really, really well. Then again, you had two solid workers, which makes sense. With Bryan losing, he complained of being injured, as well as him assaulting little Jimmy. The people in the white coats from last week, who were going to essentially take AJ and put her to a mental institution, now decide to take Daniel Bryan. This leads to a very, 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 very long sequence. Daniel Bryan answering random questions, saying yes, then him going into a yes chant where I thought his head was going to explode. Mentioning Charlie Sheen, so I guess they're going to try to play up that match feud with him and Charlie Sheen, which will suck horribly. You know, with the WWE having a wellness policy, why would you ever want anything to do with Charlie Sheen? Just saying. And then Kane shows up and says he's anger management instructor and beats crap out of him. Seemed kind of pointless. Christian and Chris Jericho, who were a former awesome tag team, joined forces to take on Dolph Ziggler and The Miz. In a really, really solid back and forth match. Until the very end. You know, this match, you can tell that there's a spot where Christian was supposed to reverse the Famouser into a powerbomb. That's one of Ziggler's, like, the running, jumping leg drop. But you can tell Christian's just not in the right spot, so when Ziggler goes for it, you see his butt, like, graze the back of Christian's head. And it's like, oh. And Jerry's like, he entirely missed it. We gotta see that again. So Ziggler then has to, like, recover and then set up for the move again to go for, like, the third hot tag of the match. And of course, you know, nice code breaker. Jericho, 3 count on The Miz. Ziggler attacks Jericho after the match. Probably one of the, you know, out of that match and the Sheamus Daniel Bryan match were two really, really solid matches. And the Divas did not have a match. I'm assuming there's still a championship belt with the Divas. I don't think I've seen Divas match in like over a month on Raw. Is it defended on SmackDown? They did lots of recap on what happened last week with Triple H and Lesnar. So if you saw it last week, yeah. If you didn't see it last week, you saw it like 3 times this week. It took up like 9 minutes. Then I spent 2 minutes on touts. I don't care. I really don't. If I wanted to see those sorts of things, I go to YouTube and I watch someone actually go through a full, long explanation of why they believe what they believe. Not someone going, yeah, I think CM Punk's crazy. Or, I'm really looking forward to seeing, you know, what The Rock has to say about that. Yeah, I don't care to read your Twitter comments, and I don't care to hear, like, the 2 or 3 sentences you can form together in 15 seconds. I don't. Stop it. I know Vince put a lot of money in to help get that project started, so he's trying to recoup funds from it. That's awesome. You know, unless The Rock is going to tout every now and then, sure. You know, will he do that as opposed to like live via satellite? We'll get like a 15-second clip of Jericho talking about how he's going to beat somebody? Sure. Trying to get anything else out from this 3 hours of Raw. Oh yeah, Lord Tensai took on Tyson Kidd again. Beat him. Finally. I know you were losing sleep over that, because I was too. But, no, my mistake. He's just Tensai now. He lost his lordship when he got pinned by Tyson Kidd, I guess. All in all, you know, the Punk heel turn stuff is kind of meh. You know, there's talks of him becoming the leader of the NWO, which I don't think they should do. It just... Oh, wait, I forgot. Heath Slater took on a returning legend, Randy Orton. Orton beat Heath Slater. Decent match. So ironically, there's a lot of time spent on promos, a lot of time spent recapping either the promo that just happened or the promo that happened the week before. I have one suggestion. Vince, next week, Begin Raw with a match. Please. Not a promo, a match. Even the throwaway match. Even if it's like Ryder and Santino Marella take on Alberto Del Rio and Ricardo. Just throw an opening match in there. Give us that opening contest. You know, something. You gotta do something to make that opening moment just pop. You know, have Sin Cara fight a local jobber. Even have Ryback fight 4 guys from the crowd. Do something beyond a promo. I love seeing a CM Punk promo, but it seems that Raw just begins with the promo. Have it begin with a match. You can set a much better tone. You go from match into a promo. Keep your promo kind of on the smaller side. Don't recap things in a promo. No, if you miss it, don't worry. You put it on YouTube like right away anyways. You don't need to waste like a half hour of your TV's programming recapping everything that just happened before a commercial break. It's fine. Also, don't forget. Still here again. If you're in the Chicagoland area, you can meet CM Punk on Saturday. That would be Saturday the 11th of August. You also could meet John Cena. I think he's on the 9th. At the Dolly Stevenson Convention in Rosemont, Illinois.